Hello everyone, my name is Keely. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome to another reading vlog. And in this one, I am going to let a random spinner wheel choose my TBR. I did a video like this back in March and I had so much fun with it, and it's also a great way for me to read my physical TBR because I have so many unread books that I own, and I have been so good about actually reading my physical TBR this year, not buying books. I've got my numbers down significantly. Except this last weekend, I bought a lot of books. So I figured it was about time to do another one of these videos so I can hopefully knock off several of my physical books. So I have my random wheel right here. It is green for this time, and I'm gonna go ahead and spin it. I am really scared. I hope we get a standalone, but we will see. What's it gonna be? Oh my gosh. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Okay, do you see that? At First Spite. Let me go get that book. So the wheel chose for me At First Spite by Olivia Dade. This is the Afterlight Illumicrate edition, and it is stunning. And this is perfect because I really wanted to read a romance. I have been in a romance mood so much lately, and this is an adult romance, and I'm so excited. Last year, my last book of the year was an Olivia Dade book, and I loved it. So I'm hoping I love this one. This is, I believe, her newest release. It came out just a few months ago, and it's gonna be great. And of course, as I get into it, I will tell you what it's about because I don't quite know. I believe there's a spite house involved, which is quite interesting, but I will let you know. I am so excited. But tonight I am actually going to be on sprints on Jesse's channel from Reading with Jess, and so several of us are going to be on there having fun. So I will definitely be making a lot of progress into this today because of those sprints. But as for right now, I have a video that I need to edit that goes up tomorrow. I literally just finished filming it. It is my May wrap up, and I read so many books. So I'm gonna edit that now, and then I'll upload it, and tonight I'll start this book. First of all, I don't know what I was thinking, but I've never read Olivia Dade before. This is the first book I will have read by her. I was thinking of a completely different author, so just forget about everything I said. I don't know how I was going to feel about this going into it because I've never read from her. But I have made significant progress, so I'm on page 156. So let me give you a synopsis. So we follow this woman named Athena, and Athena is engaged to Johnny. Now, Johnny's brother Matthew is really against this engagement, even though he doesn't really know Athena and has never met her, and he ends up convincing Johnny to call off the engagement. Now, where Johnny lives in this town called Harlot Bay is Johnny's house. There's a spite house and then Matthew's house. Now, Athena actually bought this spite house as a wedding present for Johnny because he always wanted it so he could tear down the wall and create a bigger space. So she bought it for him, and then when he called off the engagement, now she owns the spite house. She has nowhere else to go, no job to go to, because she was completely redoing her life to get married and move and get a new job, and now she's not getting married. So she moves into the spite house right in between her ex-fiance and the brother that convinced Johnny to call off the wedding. So, lots of drama going on, and really this romance is between Athena and the brother who convinced Johnny to call off the wedding, and I'm not really loving this. I don't really know why. I just feel like I'm not really getting on with the writing. At the beginning of this book when I was reading, I don't know if I was just so tired, but I felt like I was missing words in the sentences. Like, I just felt like nothing was making sense to me, and then now I'm finally getting used to it, but it did take me some time to get into the writing. Now for the relationship, Athena and Matthew, not really sold on it, don't really care. There are some quirks about Matthew that I don't like, and by quirks I mean he doesn't understand a lot of references or things that everybody else understands, and I'm like, okay, were you born in the 1800s? Why don't you understand anything? But he is a pediatric doctor, so it's fun to see that side of things. As far as Athena goes, I relate to her in so many different aspects. So Athena was a teacher, and she just left her teaching position and is moving like out of state and has no idea what she's gonna do. And that's me. I was a teacher. I just left my teaching position because I am moving out of state, and every time somebody is like, oh, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. And when Athena moves, all of her possessions are basically just boxes of books, which is going to be me as well. And then her first job she gets in this new town is at a bakery, which is something that I'm thinking about doing. So I was like, okay. And a lot of the thoughts Athena has or stuff that she says about herself, I'm just like, I feel that, because I feel directionless a lot of times, because like Athena, I am so curious and interested about everything. It is so hard for me to pick just one thing because I want to know about everything. So I do relate to her on that aspect. I just don't really love the relationship that's happening. I mean, a relationship hasn't really even happened right now. We're still in the bickering, bantering, I hate you type of situation. And so I'm just not really looking forward to the relationship progressing because I just don't really feel any chemistry at this point. So I'm not loving it, and this is kind of a longer romance. It's almost 400 pages, but I'm going to finish it because I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it. It's not going to be a new favorite, which is sad because this is beautiful. Let me show you actually the character art so you can see. So we have this right here. This is Matthew and I almost said Olivia, and Athena, and then the back one is a different picture. So this is her in her spite house and Matthew in his house, so they literally like are right next to each other. But yeah, that's that for now. I'm going to read more today, but I'm probably also going to watch The Amazing Race. I can't remember what season I'm on. 10 or 11, something like that. And I'm over halfway through the season, so maybe I can finish it today. We will see. But hopefully I will get some more reading done. Hello, it is the next day and I just finished At First Spite by Olivia Dade, and one of the things I forgot to mention to you, I told you how much I relate to Athena in all the different ways, and one of the ways is we both have degrees in psychology and neither one of them is used. Like, I don't use my degree in psychology, she doesn't use hers, but even though we don't particularly have a job where we use it, it is still useful in everyday life. Another relatable factor in here is depression. There is really great depression representation in here, and I really love how it was handled and how Matthew also helped her and was just so kind and gentle with her. However, I didn't particularly love Athena and Matthew as individuals or together, which I don't know what that says about me because I relate so heavily to Athena and I didn't love her. But that's a whole other thing to unpack there. And I told you Matthew doesn't get a lot of the references she says. Like, he doesn't even know who Where's Waldo is. Like, dude, go outside and touch some grass or something. I don't understand why he doesn't. I get it, you're busy. But like, maybe, I don't know, live a little? Who knows? But didn't really love them. I didn't care for the romance. And honestly, I really despise what Matthew and Johnny, the brothers, did to each other. I just really hated that and did not think that was cool, you know, not great sibling relationship there. There is a quote in here that I want to read you because I just talked about how I don't use my psych degree and neither does she, and she's talking to her parents finally about how she's feeling, and they say, "No education is ever wasted. No experience is ever wasted. Your degrees and your jobs helped make you the woman you are, and as far as we're concerned, you're absolutely wonderful." And I teared up at that because sometimes I get so hard on myself, just like she does, about the different jobs I have, but it's so true. Your experiences and your jobs and your degree like help make you who you are, and her parents are really great and supportive in here, just like mine are, so I'm really thankful for that. But at the end of the day, this is a romance, and I didn't really care about the romance, so I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I was between a 2 or 3 for a while, but then when the third act conflict happened, I was like, yeah, this is a 2. And that's coming from someone who loves third act breakups, but this is a 2-star. I almost bumped it up because right at the end, my name is in the book. Yeah, that's right, my name is in the book. It's spelled wrong, but it's in there, so that's something. But yes, 2 stars for this, so now it is time to spin for my next read. Okay, I have my spinner wheel, let's spin. I always say that I want a standalone, but there's actually a few series that I want to start that I have, so let's see what we get. I'm scared. Oh, okay. All right, let me go get it. Sorry the window's reflecting, but it has Chosen Ones. So the wheel picked Chosen Ones by Veronica Roth. I just got this book in last week and I ordered it from a gift card I had, so I didn't have to spend money. But I'm really excited to be getting to a book that I just hauled because that's always a good thing when you buy a book and then actually read it. What a novel idea. I don't even know what this one's about. I believe that it is a standalone though, and it is bigger, tall, hardcover, thicker, so it might take me a little bit to get through, but I'm excited nonetheless because I have heard good things about this and I love Veronica Roth so much. But as far as the rest of the day goes, I will be starting that, and yesterday I did finish my season of The Amazing Race, and I was so wrong. I was on season 12, so I started season 13 yesterday, and I'm already over halfway through, so I will be finishing that today, but in the meantime, I have to leave for the dentist right now, and I have not been to the dentist in a long time, so I'm a little scared. And it's also a new dentist, so hopefully things go well. But later on I will be starting Chosen Ones, and I'm very hyped about that. This is kind of a new angle for me, but I have an update for you because I've started reading Chosen Ones, and this is the naked hardcover. How cool does it look? But I am 178 pages in, so I've made significant progress in it, and this is interesting. So in this book, we are set in a world where it has kind of been taken over by this dark one, and he is destroying and killing millions and millions and millions of people, like all in one go. And so there were 5 teenagers that were named the Chosen Ones to defeat him. So 10 years ago, they actually defeated him as teenagers. Now it is 10 years later, they are older, and they are living in a world without the Dark One until one day one of the Chosen Ones dies, and it seems like the Dark One is still here. So, super interesting. It's almost like a superhero type thing. It really takes the Chosen One trope and like elevates it, because there are 5 Chosen Ones, and there also is a little bit of magic in here. I'm still trying to understand the magic because we are learning more and more as we go, and so that's fascinating. The main person we follow in here is one of the Chosen Ones named Sloane, and I don't like her. She is more of an anti-hero, and like she even knows it. Like she knows she's not likable, and she's not like the typical hero, and she doesn't know why like she was chosen, and I don't know why either, because I cannot stand her. I do like the other ones, but she is just the worst, and I know she's supposed to be unlikable, so I get that, but I love when characters are likable, like obviously. But the world is fascinating, and like I said, we're learning more and more. And this is also a little bit of a multimedia story, because not only are we getting the actual story, but we're getting a little bit of like interviews, transcripts, newspaper clippings, things like that. And so I just love a good multimedia story, and it also gives you more information about everything that's going on and everything that happened in the past. It's just very intriguing, because the way the magic works in here, I can't even describe, because like I said, I'm still learning it, and not everyone has access to it. But you also have like these like weapon things that help harness and siphon like the magic. It can be kind of confusing, but yet it's not. So I am enjoying it. I don't think it's going to be a new favorite of all time, just because I don't like Sloane, but I'm enjoying it, and it's interesting. I really don't know if I've read anything like this before. I kind of want to read more like superhero stories, but yeah, so far so good. I will probably get over halfway today. It's only like 1:30, so I'm gonna go check the mail, and then I might sit down and read some more this morning. My dad and I, we just finished watching day 1 of the NCAA track and field championships, so that was a few hours, but I was reading in the meantime. And then I still need to finish season 13 of The Amazing Race. I just have the finale episode left, so I'll probably finish that and start season 14 and hopefully make some more progress in Chosen Ones. I come bearing bad news. So I have read more of Chosen Ones. I'm on page 315, so I have around 100 pages left, and I am not enjoying it. I am ready to be done with this book. The first half is definitely a lot more interesting to me than the second half, but the more I read, the more I realized I just didn't care. I don't care about any of the characters. I don't care about taking down the bad guy or the secrets that are involved in everything. I just don't care. And I think Sloane is a terrible character. Like I said, I know she's supposed to be unlikable, but I just don't understand why you want to write unlikable characters. So, 100 pages left. I will be finishing this today. I'm excited to be done with it. This vlog, I've been reading bad books, so I really need my next book to be really good. The last time I did this vlog, I loved pretty much everything I read. So, how the turntables, because this one's not going well. The first one was like 2 stars, but I've been watching some great things. I've been telling you about The Amazing Race, but I completely forgot to mention yesterday the first 2 episodes of season 17 of Criminal Minds came out, and you bet your bottom dollar I watched both of those episodes, and it's already so good. I just love Criminal Minds so much, and I love the new Criminal Minds Evolution because it's so much darker than the original series. And you might argue the original series was already so dark, but no, it is so much darker, and I just love it. I love dark, gory, gruesome things, and I think this does it so well. I do, however, still miss Spencer Reid so much. I think right now, though, my favorite character is Luke. He is so funny. So if you watch it, and if you've watched the first 2 episodes, let me know who your favorite character is so far. But I think an episode comes out each week, maybe 2, I don't know, but I will be keeping up with that weekly. I'm also still watching The Amazing Race. I'm on season 14, so that is going well as well. As for the rest of the day, I have sprints tonight. I'm going to be on Hannah's channel from the Teacher's TBR. I'm so excited. So today before sprints, I might finish this because sprints aren't until 6 and it's like 11:30. So I should finish this before sprints and then hopefully start a new book on sprints and get some reading done and some loving done, because I'm ready to love a book because this is not going well and I'm ready to be done with it. My camera's about to die, so I'm gonna make this quick, but I just finished Chosen Ones by Veronica Roth, and my feelings from before didn't change. I just didn't care about the characters, the dark one, who lived or died, or any of that, and I just really did not like Sloane. She is not my most hated character I've ever read, but I still never want to see her again. So I'm giving this one 2 stars. And you might be like, Keely, why didn't you just DNF it if you knew pretty early on that you weren't enjoying it? Because Veronica Roth is an auto-buy author for me, and so I'm trying to read all of her books, and so I'm doing this for my girl Veronica, but Divergent is a lot better. So 2 stars for this, which means it is time to spin again. Okay, I've got my spinner wheel here, so let's give her a spin. I kind of, again, want it to land on a beginning of a series, because there's some series that I need to get off my TBR. So let's see, what is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, Shadow Study. Here we go. Let me go get it. So the spinner wheel chose for me Shadow Study by Maria V. Schneider. So this is a part of the Chronicles of Ixia series, which includes 9 books, which is 3 different trilogies all broken up. The first trilogy is the Poison Study, then the Glass trilogy, and this is the continuation of the Poison Study trilogy. Very confusing, I know. So this is the 4th book in Poison Study, but it is the 7th book in the Chronicles of Ixia. And I wasn't sure if I was going to continue, because the Glass trilogy, the way that ended is one of the worst endings I've ever read, and I actually pretend those books don't exist, and so I wasn't sure if I want to continue or not, but because this is the continuation of Poison Study, then maybe I'll like it better, because the Glass trilogy loved the first book, and then the second book went downhill, and then the 3rd book was so bad and made me so angry. So I'm really hoping I enjoy this, but my camera's about to die, so as I get into this, then I will give you a synopsis, because like I said, it's kind of confusing how many books there are, but once you understand it, it's not that bad. Okay, I have like 10 minutes before sprints, so I thought I would talk a little bit more about Shadow Study. So let me tell you about the first book in the series, because obviously this is the 4th/7th book, so I can't tell you anything about it. But the first book in the series, we follow this girl named Yelena, and she is in prison for murder, and she is about to be executed until one day they come and get her and say, you are going to be the king's poison taster. So she has to train to be this poison taster because people are out there trying to kill the king, and so it's actually really fascinating when she has to learn all the different poisons. That was honestly one of my favorite parts. But in this world, magic is also outlawed, so that's a big part in it as well. But that's all I'm gonna tell you about it, because it goes off the rails from there. It is really interesting, and I think this trilogy in particular, follows Yelena again, which I'm so excited about because I really, really miss her. And there's also a guy in the series named Valak, who I love so, so much. So I'm really hoping this 3rd and final trilogy of the entire series is a lot better than the second one, because I really had high hopes for that second one because I loved the first book in that trilogy so much, and the other 2 just let me down. But they did follow another character who I originally loved and then ended up hating. But I still love Yelena and Valak, so I'm hoping that this trilogy really brings up my negative vibes that I feel for this series right now, because I love the first trilogy and I almost wish I hadn't read the second one. But I'm going to start this tonight on sprints, which again is now in like 8 minutes. So I will update you probably when I get further in. Obviously I haven't even started. So I've started Shadow Study and I am 175 pages in, and the thing about the series is you literally can't breathe. You cannot breathe because things are always chaotic, so stressful. From page 2, people are getting shot with arrows. Like, these characters just can't live. They just can't have a happy life. There's always something going on. The good news is, in this book, we follow the characters Yelena and Valak, who are a couple and characters that I absolutely love and I'm obsessed with. So I'm really glad we followed the people that I love. So I'm definitely enjoying it more than the last book, the previous book in this series. The bad news is we just came across the reason I hate the previous book in the series, so I'm hoping we're not there for too long because I'm just gonna start getting angry again, and I don't want that. But it is just crazy because we're constantly on missions, we're constantly like fighting for survival, and so it's stressful, but it's fun and fast-paced that way. My complaint too is that Yelena and Valak are always separated. Like, I want them to be together, but their jobs are in completely different like lands, and so they're always separated, and I just want them to be together. So I'm hoping at some point in this book we have them together and they remain together for the rest of the series, because I'm so tired of them being apart. I need them to be together. So yes, 175 pages in. This book is just over 400 pages, so I'll definitely get over halfway today. But I fear, dare I say it, that I might be getting into a little bit of a reading slump, because right now I just really don't feel like reading. So I'm gonna watch some of The Amazing Race, and I will read in between on commercials, so I'll still be reading more today. I'm just, you know, not gonna force it, and hope this little slumpy time passes over. When I last talked to you yesterday, I told you I was worried I was getting in a reading slump. Well, I can say that this has broken me out of it, because I read 222 pages yesterday, and then as soon as I woke up this morning, I finished this book. And we've also broken our 2-star curse for this video, because I'm giving this 4 stars. I'm so glad to be back with Yelena and Valak. I did say I was stressed because they were separated like throughout the entire book, and I just hate when the couples are separated. I just want them to be together. So I'm hoping that's resolved throughout the rest of the series. And also, the way this ended, not a fan. And I also know it's a trope a lot of people aren't a fan of, so a little worried because we still have 2 more books left, so we'll see how that goes. But this one was really interesting, and we saw some people that most people that we knew from the other books in the series, and so I had a really great time. And the fact that the magic was just so interesting in this. That's one of my favorite things about this world, is the magic and the different magic that people have. And there's also like a magical school, but you also have a country that is all about magicians, and then you have a country where magic is illegal. So that's really interesting. But my absolute favorite part about this book is we learned so much about Valak, and we got almost his entire backstory, and we even got flashbacks and memories, especially when he's training to be an assassin, which is just so much fun. I always love montages of like assassin training. I just love learning about assassins, and so I had a great time reading this. I am giving it 4 stars because it's not my favorite in the series, but I am excited that I decided to continue, thanks to the wheel, of course. But yes, I hope we carry this good star momentum going throughout the rest of this video, because we didn't start great. Alright, it is time to spin the wheel for our next book, and I'm gonna list 3 books that I really hope it chooses for us. First is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, because the sequel comes out soon and I have the UK edition, and I need to read it to know if I should get the UK edition of the sequel, because I love the covers. 2 is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I've owned that series forever, and so I really want to read the first one to see if I want to read the series or just unhaul it. And then number 3 is The Diviners, for the same reason. I need to see if I want to read it or unhaul it. For some reason, I'm just super unlucky, and I know it's not going to land on any 3 of those, so I don't even know why I listed them, but we'll see what it is. Okay, this is another big one. Carry On. I really wanted a short one, but let me go get it. Okay, I really wanted a short book, but it chose Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This book is, how long is it? Over 500 pages. Yep. Over 500 pages. But I'm hoping it reads fast because it is YA, and also the words on these pages are quite big. And I think there's a vampire involved. I think. So if you don't know, Carry On is actually from Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. So in Fangirl, the main character writes a fan fiction. This is that fan fiction. So we follow 2 characters. Simon Snow, it says he's the worst chosen one who's ever been chosen, and Baz might be evil and a vampire and a complete jit, but he's completely right. So we will see. I think it's like a love story between these 2 and enemies to lovers. We'll see. But I've heard good things, and I've owned this one for a while, so I'm excited, and I hope it keeps me out of this reading slump. I will admit, yesterday when the wheel chose Carry On for me, I wasn't excited. I was not excited because I didn't want a fantasy and I wanted a short book, and this is not a short book and it's a fantasy. But dare I say, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Yesterday I read 200 pages. 200 pages. And I also finished a book yesterday, so I read probably like 300 pages yesterday or something like that, and I'm obsessed. So I told you this is the fan fiction from Fangirl, so let me give you a synopsis specifically about this. So we follow a character named Simon Snow, and Simon Snow is the chosen one in this world, except he is a terrible chosen one because he cannot control his magic. He is extremely powerful, but one little thing sets him off and it could explode or set everything on fire. So he's not great with magic, he's not great with spells or anything like that. Side note, the spells in here are ridiculous. That's like the one downside in here. I hate the spells because they are so dumb. But anyway, so Simon Snow, he's a terrible chosen one. His roommate is Baz, and Baz is allegedly a vampire. And Simon and Baz are enemies. They know that one day they are going to have to kill each other, and now they are in their final year of school, so they know that day is coming closer and closer. However, when Simon goes to school for his final year, Baz is nowhere to be seen. He is missing, and Simon seems to be the only one that's kind of concerned about where Baz is because he thinks that Baz is off plotting against him somewhere, because Baz is also from an evil family. So think Harry and Draco. That's kind of what this fanfiction is. There are a lot of things that are very reminiscent of Harry Potter. There is a headmaster in here called the Mage, and he is very similar to Dumbledore, and it kind of pokes fun at it in here because it talks about how the Mage expects so much of Simon Snow, but he doesn't help him and he puts him in all this danger, and then he just sends him home and ignores him, and that's what Dumbledore did. But we also follow several other characters: Simon's best friend Penelope, Simon's girlfriend slash ex-girlfriend Agatha, and this is multiple point of view, which I love in stories. And the catch is there's a love story. Enemies to lovers. So the final tagline on here says, "Carry On is a ghost story, a love story, and a mystery." It has just as much kissing and talking as you'd expect from a Rainbow Rowell novel, but far, far more monsters. So I am loving that. It's just so great. I really like the characters except for Agatha. She could go choke, but I love everyone else. I'm loving Baz because he is like that dark brooding character that's just like misunderstood, and the whole vampire aspect is so much fun. But I am flying through this, and the chapters are short, which makes it easier. I have about 300 pages left of this, and honestly, I could finish it today. If I continue reading it like I did yesterday at the speed that I did, then there's a potential to finish it today, which is exciting. And this is also a trilogy, so more to come. I did it. I cannot believe I read all 517 pages in like a day. I started it yesterday and ended it today, but like in a 24-hour period, I finished this book because I was completely obsessed with it. I love Simon, I love Baz, I love Penelope, and there's also another element in here called the Humdrum, which is like the bad guy, and so they're gonna have to try to defeat it and things. But Simon and Baz also know that one day they're gonna have to kill one another. The catch is, though, they're also roommates. And the tension between these two that just built and built and built throughout the entire book was just so great. And I love Simon and Baz so much. And I also love the vampire element in here, but I really can't say much more because I've already given you all my feelings and I don't want to go into spoilers. But I also don't know how there's going to be 2 more books after this because I feel like it ended in here. But she wrote more onto it, so now I'm like, what's gonna happen? Because I feel like things are okay, but, you know, I do have a few questions. So maybe those will get answered in the others, but I'm giving this one 5 stars. I cannot believe that I loved it. I really didn't think that I would. I thought I would be like, oh, this was good. But you know what? This also has a really high rating on Goodreads. It's over 4 stars, so a lot of people love it, and I know I'm late to it, but I loved it. 5 stars. Okay, and now it is time to do my last spin for this video. So it's got to be a good one because it's going to be the last one. And I don't know. I really don't want a fantasy because I've read a lot of fantasy in this vlog. So what is it going to be? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about this one. Okay, can you see it? Forget Me Not. Hold on. I am so excited to read this book, and that is Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This is an adult romance, and I've heard fantastic things about it. This is the Afterlight Illumicrate edition, and I think this is one of the ugliest covers I've ever seen. Like, look at this. This could be the cover instead. Stunning. I love that. But this is ugly. But I've heard great things. I am so excited, and I'm excited to be reading a romance, so I'll update you once I've made some progress in it. So I've officially started Forget Me Not, and all I can say is yes. Yes. So this book, we follow a 26-year-old named Emma, and she is a wedding designer and planner, and she owns a small business where she does small-scale weddings until one day she gets her dream client, which is a very famous influencer and her fiance, and they want Emma to do their wedding. And so she's really excited because she gets to have her dream giant, super expensive wedding. But the catch is her client and her fiance already have their florist picked out, and of course it is Emma's ex, Elliot. Now let me tell you, Elliot, he is rude. He is so mean, but he is tattooed up. Just look at that. Let's just take a moment. Yes, he is tatted up, he is rude, he owns this floral shop that was his father's and his grandfather's, and now they are having to learn how to work together after this supposed massive breakup, because we don't know exactly what happened, and this book actually follows both Emma and Elliot's point of view. However, Elliot's point of view right now is in the past, so we are seeing this relationship build up, and we're gonna get to see the relationship in the past, and I'm assuming how it all falls apart, and then I'm hoping in Emma's current timeline we see them come back together, because right now he is just so mean. He is so mean, and I'm just like, I just love you though. I just love you. You're beautiful. Why are you so rude? And Emma is also kind of chaotic. So she's given a lot of energy, whereas he's not. But I love them. The tension is so good. And I love learning about their past and how they became a couple. And I also love learning about Emma's business and how passionate she is about wedding planning, because, hot topic, I hate weddings. I hate them. And so I wasn't sure how I'd feel about a wedding book, but I'm loving it. I think it is so much fun, and I love the characters. I love how this is written, and I didn't even tell you how far I am into it. I'm on page 139, so I'm almost halfway through it, and I just started it this morning, and so I'm definitely going to sit down and read more of this, but I'm loving it so far. This is a great way to end this video, because I started out with a dud, and I'm ending it with 2 5-star. Well, okay, let's not speak too soon, but it might be a 5-star. We'll see. I'm loving it right now, but I still have a lot to go, so I don't want to speak too soon. It's also interesting how I started with an Afterlight Illumicrate book, and I'm ending with an Afterlight Illumicrate book. But hopefully this continues to go well, so it can potentially end on a 5 stars. I am here to end out this vlog, but first I have to update you on Forget Me Not, because I finished this book yesterday. I read it in one day, and that's usually a good sign, and it was. I did enjoy it so much, but was it a 5-star? No, not quite. I think I jinxed myself, but I did give it 4 stars. I really, really loved it. The reason it's 4 stars and not 5 stars for me is because that past timeline that we do see from Elliot, I love it so much, but I hate how Emma treats Elliot in that timeline, and that's the reason why it's 4 stars, is just because I just hate how she treats him, and I hate how she acts, and it almost made me dislike her. But she isn't my most hated character. She's just not going to be my favorite, but I just didn't like how she treated him. But hopefully she gets her act together. But I did really love this, and I loved his tattoos. I already told you that, Elliot's tattoos, but they each have a specific meaning and what they are, and I loved slowly finding out about his tattoos throughout the story, and I love his connection to flowers in general. And I don't know, there's just something about him running a flower shop that was so hot. The spicy scenes in here were also fantastic. Loved them. Those were great as well. I also think that, like I said in my previous clip, weddings aren't my thing, and I think I was getting tired of it by the end, especially when things start going wrong during wedding planning. That stresses me out to no end, and I just don't like weddings, so that was a little downside to me too. But overall, I really, really loved this book. I loved Elliot as a love interest, and I cannot wait to read more from Julie Soto, because I think this is her debut, and I know her next book comes out like in a few weeks, so I'm definitely anticipating that one. But yes, a really good read to end on, and I'm giving this one, like I said, 4 stars. So let's go through and wrap everything up, just in case you forgot, because some of these I stopped thinking about very quickly. So we started off on a bad note with At First Sight and Chosen Ones. I gave both of these 2 stars, so it was not a great start. But then I went into my 4-star book, which was Shadow Study. This is the continuation of the series, which I wasn't sure if I was going to continue, but I'm glad that I did. And then we got our 5-star Carry On. 5 stars. I have not been able to stop thinking about this book, and I really hope the rest of the series is just as good, but I'm so glad we got a 5-star out of this vlog, and then ended out pretty strong with another 4-star. So overall, 2 4-stars, a 5-star, 2 2-stars. So I feel like this was more of a success than a failure. But let me know if you enjoy watching these spinner wheel videos, because I really enjoy doing them, and it helps me get off books that I haven't even thought about in years, like Carry On. Didn't think I would like it, didn't know if I'd ever read it, and I loved it. But that is it for this video. If you have made it this far, go ahead and leave some kind of flower emoji. I'll put one right here. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, all my social media links will be down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!